Here we go. Just here, and if you don't know me, my name is Patricia, and I'm the author of three channel books. First one about essential oils, which I channel within 3 days. Second one, it took me like around 6 months to write 55 description of trees, and today I am going to present my third book, which I actually started writing exactly 1 year ago in November. But it was a long process and we went through a lot of changes around the earth, and so I finished the book around summer. Then I went to editing, publishing, and here it is, my third wonderful book, Flowers, the Beauty of Earth. It is available on Amazon. I'm just going to add the link as well, just underneath this video. And today I'm going to talk about 3 descriptions, jasmine, lotus, and cosmos. And I think that's really important, especially now during the time of great changes, as I call it. And those times we are entering as humanity, collective consciousness, as I call it, and anything can happen. There are a lot of changes in the universe at the moment. So today's the 11th of December. In few days, I think the 14th or 15th, we are going to have solar eclipse. So it's a lot of emotion. So sun represents the masculine energy and the moon the feminine energy, and we're in between a lot of changes. Then 21st of December, we are entering the age of Aquarius, the conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn. So it's a lot to take in, but we are not alone in this. In my opinion, there's a lot of changes in the universe. I think we are receiving a lot of help, a lot of support from other beings, other planets, because we are all connected together. They're also connected to us, to Earth itself. So a lot of changes ahead of us. So anyway, what I'm going to talk today is how, actually I told you already how I wrote the book, but I want to, before I jump into descriptions, I want to talk about the Earth consciousness. We actually don't know what Earth consciousness is, but I got a little glimpse how the Earth was created. So it came to me in the form of a feminine voice, and soft and gentle feminine voice. So I'm gonna read it for you and just try to describe how I see it, how I got this information. This part I was told to call the birth of Earth, and each of the description of the book I was told how to write, how to read, how to put this down on paper. So it's nothing is mine actually. It was given to me so I can give it to humanity. Okay. I'm gonna start here. The birth of Earth. In the early stages of my birth, light came to distinguish me from the fire. So Earth came, and before that it was a chaos. There was one element, fire element, and it wanted to distinguish itself from the fire. So this birth, the Earth says, my birth was planned by the universe years ago. So it was in the universe's consciousness, in the chronicle, that it was created Earth's consciousness was created. Earth itself, as a physical element, was created. Anyway, I'm going to continue. In the process of my creation, light took a different form, of what you have known as life. This event brought two parallel worlds together, the physical existence and time. There are no coincidences in the universe, but unknown forces that manifest itself as life. During my birth, many events took place that helped to shape reality. Various life forms were created as one soul to match with new vibrations. From that, my trust was born in plants' life. So we have consciousness, and that actually got a little maybe sides and a little maybe side effects, I would call it, in the cult plant life. Okay. To this day, the reality you call life exists as virtual vibrations in many dimensions, times, and truths, and you can experience the feeling, emotions, and through your mind. So we have, in this paragraph, we have the consciousness, the non-physical reality, the time, the feelings, emotions, everything is connected, but it's not a physical form. And all whatever we feel, even as human beings, as feelings, emotions, they all are imprinted in time. In the moment of my creation, different vibrations wanted to enter, sometimes by force, to rule on this planet. So what it means by that, it means that many different beings at that time fought over Earth, who will rule over Earth, who will live on Earth. And they wanted, some beings, they wanted Earth as their own colony. Okay. Now the Earth continues. My birth was not easy. The seas and ocean caused floods that ripped part of my consciousness apart. I could do not anything to prevent it. I simply watched as a part of me was dying. However, this event was done with purpose, so I could experience death for the first time as a conscious being. So we all know that one has to finish, the other could enter. The same with Earth. Okay? Continues. Then the hurricane came. That experience became known as the birth of time. So according to Earth, hurricanes, twist, and wind created the birth or the illusion of time. The whole process was divine ecstasy. For the first time, I could see my future shining brightly. I saw the oceans and seas as a sort of light. Light. So it was then that something has changed me forever. In the depth of waters, light began creating tiny bubbles of life. I was destined to carry life like mothers carrying a child in the womb. On that day, everything changed. Light, life, land, and water, four elements together. I began building my trust in the universe. Yes, I was separate from the original knowledge, means the universe. But I could also become a bearer of my own inner knowledge with new shape and trust. Means trust in creating life, as we know. Years went by. I sat seeing light in the sky. It was unpredictable, like rays from rainbow or first snow. It was from that light that life began its journey on the surface, but I was still alone, raw and broken. Within an apparent fraction of time, light created valleys and hills with no names. What seems like a minute, later rivers that flowing deeper, bringing new wisdom to the surface. That created your reality, a true paradise. Those shifts pushed my soul to the surface. I sat building my own life with a trust in my own creations. I wanted to release it into the world through movement, vibration, and thought. So, movement, vibration, and thoughts, they are limited, uh, as we know, to Earth. If you go above the Earth, and there are different thoughts because there are different beings, and all the planets They have their own consciousness and own vibrations. Probably you know this, so I'm just gonna repeat it. Anyway, let's continue. As I grew stronger, rain was born. It spread to the seas and oceans, moving life to new environment, the land. From nothingness, the building block started to march with the new ground, creating whole universes on its own, which is plant life, basically. Only time could stop this, not me. I had no power, no intention to destroy it. It was my power to be able to set life free. I could hear oceans, seas, mountains as they were singing to me. From those songs, sound was born that sent the light back to the universe. I did not want to hold it for myself. My own vibrations became my own light. I was the bearer of my own knowledge. I understood that I existed within the vastness of the universe as spirit, sound, and as vibration, dressed only as a fraction of time of my own existence. I realized that my power comes from within. My rebirth began, this time as a soul, an essential body of the solar system. Now I had a physical body and spirit. From space, foreign bodies appeared and crashed down on me with tremendous force. Perhaps they were seeking to hurt me through of what I'm unsure. Meteorites created a gate. Its purpose was immediately unclear, but then I understood. New life was to spring from that space. Mountains whispered to me that are keepers of the past. So if you look at the mountains and those who study rocks, they know that mountains they are the oldest structure, the density, and you can tell that they tell the history of the earth. Okay, mountains came a long way to reach the surface from the depths of the oceans. Consciousness brought everything in balance. So we all know that everything needs to balance on earth. Okay. From that moment, my awakening began. I realized that my divine potential was unlimited. Even after that space was created, I was distinguished from all the elements. I was especially important for my growth. I felt small compared to other planets, so it does indicate the comparison to all the planets that in the solar system. Okay, each of them have their own names, not as you call them. So Jupiter, for example, has its own name, its own vibration, how its own consciousness. The same with Saturn. We give them names, but they have their own name. Okay, it was not told to do. There was not told to use or interview with the structure and consciousness. So we as humanity will never find out the real name of many different planets because it's actually not important to us. And we have our own growth, our own way, our own destiny, I would call it. Okay. From high above, I saw the birth and death of stars and planets. They were my brothers and sisters. It's something I've endured for years. As time passed, I learned to create new life in the right time and space. Although I learned about trust, it is imprinted in my heart as a symbol of my unity between love and the universe. The only thing that's different is consciousness. There was no mistakes in creating me. I am ancient, I am creative, I am earth. So this is the introduction called The Birth of Earth that was given to me exactly a year ago. And then I'm going to talk about different, as I said before. So first, I would like to talk about because we are going through a different times now, very special times in the history of our consciousness, Earth, and collective humanity. So that was shown to me a year ago by a flower called Garden Cosmos. So if you don't know how cosmos look like, Google it, have a look. It's really cheerful, wonderful flower. It's like a deep purple petals, so it's really beautiful. Okay, let's talk about this one. And it says in the infinite space of the universe, anything is possible. You can only see one side of the universe, the physical one. So the scientist says that we all can see like 99% is like empty space. We only see 1% or even less. So this is all about this one. Okay. But the trial said but there's a huge number of non-physical ones in the endless galaxies that surround you and you are not aware of it. Basically, you as a human being are separated between the non-physical and physical life as a separate consciousness in a physical form. The form is called human being. Your responsibility as human being is based on love that comes from the universe. Okay, so let's say that love was not created from the earth. It was poured down to us as a lesson, as a part of our soul, um, called love. Okay, that love involves constantly changing your physical body and consciousness. Okay, it's very beautiful. We flowers live in groups. We don't like growing alone. Okay, so if you have a cosmic plant, make sure you plant them next to the other plant because they love the company, very cheerful flowers. Sun and light are important to us. They give us information which we live by. The information flow from our cells to our core where it circulates. The flower says, gravity causes your awakening from the depth of your soul. It is the earth atmosphere that is reading your consciousness and you and your evolution on this planet. And this is really this next paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're very, very important. Okay, what is going on now? The trees foretold you this a long time ago. So I referred to the second book, the 55 Sacred Trees. And one of the trees says about our awakening as human beings. Okay, continue. Okay, and now we are repeating to you again. Okay, so if it's again means it's very, very important. Okay, pay attention. Your awakening did not start within you, but instead within a deep space. To awakening as human consciousness, collective consciousness. Once it reached the earth atmosphere, it began endlessly expanding. Because of your perception, your views on the world depends of your consciousness. Okay? It started affecting you as well. Your free will responded to it. It was the beginning of your revolution or evolution, as you may call it. When the new information reached your cells, they start bleeding. So they start releasing trauma and negative programs and informations. Okay, to your physical body, which create a chain reaction. This was your change within, but the process didn't stop there. In fact, it still continues to present day. The old patterns and programs were created millions of years ago, and you have been carrying them within you in your physical body as a memory of past events. So, millions years ago, we came to Earth as first human beings. So, story, trauma that we are still carrying this since like millions and millions of years. It's mostly fears of surviving. This is what it's all about on a collective consciousness. Okay? So strictly speaking, your first incarnation on the planet was very painful. It taught you fear, a survival instinct, mistrust in other human beings, Earth, and the environment. You did not know who you were. It took a long time to discover this, but the trauma remained within you until the present moment. In the mid-June 2021, so in next 6 months, you will feel some changes of that past that was leaving your body for good. And this will be breaking point in your life and the planet. So good news is on the way next 6 months, and it's gonna be really brand new human beings. Okay, I have this wonderful tools that I want to talk about very briefly about jasmine. I love jasmine. It's very sweet and sensual. Jasmine is also known as the queen of the night. It's used mostly in Indian cooking, like rice scented with jasmine. I just loved it. It's very feminine and uplifts your energy, and especially sexual energy, and you feel like very sensual. I don't know why. It has this effect. So jasmine, it's amazing flower, and um, so it's number 57 in this book, page 82. 1 second. There's a short description of jasmine. So jasmine is very sweet, very sensual. Probably you know the smell. So anyway, jasmine inhabits a space between your thought and empty space. This is called the 0 point of creation. Wherein lies the clarity of your existence. So this is more connected with the word I am. So probably you know that whatever word you put after the word I am creates reality. So this word I am is jasmine. Okay. Jasmine says, silence gives you inner space to explore. So when we silence the mind, we have this ability to find solution, to find the way, to find the answer for our question. Okay. You often deny or dismiss it. So now and again, we need this silence. We need this empty space to find the clarity. And sometimes we are so busy in our world that we often don't want to hear or want to be silent, or just like, oh, it's very people. And it's not about us. We need the silence to connect to our mind and our soul. Okay, just to listen what our mind, or what our soul wants to tell us. It is no coincidence that you enjoy the scent of our flowers. The mystery of a scent flows inside of you. It shows you road through which you can predict new things in life, as if your dreams come to life. Jasmine embodies the word focus. It explores the hidden treasures of your depths of your soul, and with the sense of a time standing still, reveals them to you. The flower knows well the parts of humanity it views linearly. Okay? Jasmine works like a bell of our consciousness. It releases our conscious like a dreamlike state where everything is possible, from dreams to manifestations of idea and concepts, for all of eternity. It says, much like you connect to your consciousness, we connect to the universe. From love, inspiration was born, and this created your life. It gave you choice, existence. You were born as a soul on this planet. So the flower says that we are physical manifestation of the soul. The soul actually incarnates the physical body so it can express itself on this planet. Okay. See Earth's beauty with your own eyes, and you will discover a new version of yourself, born again into the beauty of it. So when we really see how we are everything connected with nature, we can discover something amazing. So this is jasmine, and I think this description, which is the Indian lotus, I only have blue lotus, but it's very similar consciously because this like a come on, very related cousins, I would say. It has, I tell you what smell is. It's very watery, very gentle scent. Like even when you don't feel it, when you put it on your body, they the consciousness of the plant really goes to our cells and really does the job from inside. So it really affects our consciousness as well on many different levels. So I really love working with essential oils. So that's my kind of habit. But lotus have been, I think, very widely described in the Buddhist philosophy. It's not religion, so religion has God, but philosophy is like a way of existence, I would say. So this is description of lotus. So it's, if you go to India, probably, well, if you live in India, there are a lot of lotus flowers. They're very beautiful. They rise from the mud. And once they reach the surface, they actually bloom. So 1,000 petal lotus. It's called our crown chakra, for example. But anyway, this is the very long description, very beautiful description, and I'm just gonna read it for you. Okay. So the most important power is within you. I only impact on your support. You have the power to construct, to rebuild, to exist, to flow, and to create. So what the flower mean by that, we are the only beings probably in our solar system, I don't know about more, who have the capacity to create. So this is our advantage as human beings, is to create. Okay. We represent the universe. We provide you it with a sense of unity. It is through our existence that you receive blessings from this world and other worlds, from Earth and the universe. See how everything is connected, right? The lotus says some blessings exist above the universe, and different laws distinguish them from human beings and other life forms. You have different rights on this planet as a consciousness which separates you from the Earth's consciousness and allows you to function on this planet independently. This is the privilege, but also a responsibility. So what it means, be aware how you think, because what you think you create, how you think you create your reality. Okay, this is all about. You have a responsibility towards the earth and also towards the universe as a whole, as a logical being that makes decisions. The lotus brings you to the very edge of your wisdom, which contains silence. So, second flower that talks about silence, okay? Breath and endless possibilities of the soul. This is the birth point of the universe. This is the point where everything begins, your history and your existence. So, what it means by that we every moment how we think, we shape our reality. Okay. It says, I bring you light in the form of information. Information that is beyond the structured time and space, information invisible to your world. Your breath is a complex structure. At the top of snowy mountains, oxygen was born that moves down to earth consciousness. There's then expansion of life. This is the sword of life and all wisdom. Nothing is sacred or blessed. Our life teaches you humility, teaches you all things matter. From a tiny sparkle comes the birthplace of your soul. In a moment that connects you to the physical breath, in that mysterious place where you are united with the universe through your mind, you can see your own divinity that's always within you. Remember, first is nebula, then planet, all life forms, all connected by motion and consciousness. This is the way that life develops on Earth and different planets. Nothing was created by coincidence. Your mind is a conqueror, an enigma that enjoys exploring due to its duality. It corridors mold Your being through beauty, mystery, downloads that anchor to the earth. This is its destiny. Your mind is a light bringer, a carer of your peace, a virtual magician of your past, a past which virtual reality bends time to lapses. This is space where your mind surrenders to the universe and finds its place. Through this, a new bridge is born to connect towards human and the divine, or what you called your thoughts and reality. This is the physical expansion of your world. Our fractures and mysteries, sense of self, our very definition of what I am was created in the universe. It connects divinity, the first explosion that created the universe, to the moment of the physical birth of a human child. All is connected by sense of I am, and all flows because of it. So I am creates not even our reality, but also the reality of the universe. Okay? The I am, the sacred dialect, did not come from the earth, but from a planet that wanted to show respect and give earth life. The planet represented duality, time, space, and orientation. You become aware of your physical body in a space called universe, where everything stands still for a single moment. Time creates multiple universes in them. The possibilities of existence, singularities, reality, time, and space. What you understand as your reality was given to you as a constant, so you may discover your own truth, unbound by time, the precise instruction to discover yourself within your reality, within your heart, and not your mind. So, what it means by that, it means once we create our reality, we kind of a disconnect from our mind, but we go to a space that is located in our heart and we create reality from the heart space. I think it's really beautiful because what we create from our heart is always connected with love, with support, acceptance. I think it's forgiveness even, and it's something really amazing. Okay, this is the secret ingredients of your life for all your existence in many other lives. Your time is always singular. It requires space in which you could express yourself as time being and not as human being. This changes the consciousness, which vibrates with each and every motion in the universe. Every single sound that passes, you understand your past much deeper and better, even when your future is not certain. So when we connect with our heart, we go to different reality. We live every moment. We don't look, we actually understand lessons that were in the past. This is what it's all about. Okay? And the future is not certain. So we don't have the fear of the future. We actually connect with our heart and we actually have this assurance that everything is going to be okay. You don't need to worry about anything. Okay? But this movement also creates an illusion of your mind, which may trigger some emotion. So when you go, there's kind of this, maybe I would say, competition between your mind and your heart. So your mind wants always like struggle, but once we go, when we teach ourselves to go more into heart space, there's no struggle, there's no illusion, and then there's no emotions. Then we can actually expand and live at peace. Anyway, so that's my three descriptions of three wonderful flowers. And actually, in that book, I'll show you again. It's my name, and there are 71 descriptions that were channeled to me within a good few months, and they all talk about creation. Not all, but some of them talk about creation of the universe, creation of Earth, our purpose, a creation of the soul. I think it's one of the most beautiful one. And if you want to know about connect with your own purpose, connect, maybe you have these questions like, who am I, and what is my purpose, where I am from. And I think this book may help you to find those answers. Maybe they will give you more questions, I don't know. But it's not an easy book to understand. And what I encourage you, if you have this book, read it with an open mind, or maybe read it with open soul and your heart. So I'm gonna finish with this, and I'm gonna leave you with this. And if you have any question, please do write in the comments and share the video if you like it, and let me know what you think. So please be respectful as well. And I hope I will talk to you soon. And maybe on the next video, I'll about trees and the consciousness of trees. Anyway, wish you wonderful entrance to the new age of Aquarius, water element, feminine element. And I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you. Bye bye.